countdown to the start of the race has now got underway after Rob Atch's car and he have been recovered. So 15 minutes of what we expect to be frantic Team and Tweeks and Yokohama Locost racing about to get underway for the first time in 2020.
The red lights go on and off. Away we go. Pretty even start from the first, well, couple of rows really. Everyone seems to be, and there's some contact in the midfield. I can see out of my window a bit of a mudguard going flying. But it's the 29 car actually that emerges into the lead. That is Jeff Peak from the second row, I think, the 52-year-old. Has made the best start to the race then by the looks of it as they go through ridges in the black and yellow car. You've got, is that Paul Clark there as well, trying to make up ground in the number 82 machine. Well, he started 8th and is about 3rd or 4th now, I think, as they go through Wilson. Looking at the 40 car at the minute, that's David Martin, the Liverpudlian. And it looked like Tim Penstone-Smith was somewhere in the mix of that as well, as we look towards the front of the field then, and it is still number 29 Jeff Peak that's leading, but there is one car that I can see is stationary between the start line and Rich's. So there's a yellow flag covering that situation at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that. That is the 7 car. That is Greg Smith. But it looks like he's going to be pushed to a position of safety. So behind the leader Jeff Peak, it's Paul Clark, 8th up to 2nd. Craig Land is 3rd. David Mason is 4th. And Tom Gadd, the pole position driver, he's gone back down to 5th.
Clark back under pressure as they go into Coram Curve. There's a car up on the inside of him, and that car of, I think that's Craig Land, isn't it, back into 2nd place. But Jeff Peak got a nice little gap at the end of lap 1 here as the rest of the field flow their way into Murray's. Good livery there on Simon Cork's car number 55, new driver I think there, going well towards the sharp end of the field as they come up across the line. The tow now coming into effect for 3rd position. Paul Clark is under pressure. Is he about to lose another place, this time to David Mason? And Mason looks to the outside and he looks like he's made it work. He has. So good move from Mason. Leader though, Jeff Peak under pressure. Perhaps a bit of a mistake for him through Ritchie's, and Craig Land up the inside grabs the lead away.
Yeah, he's landed that one. He's gone through in the TSR, Team Sailors Racing prepared car.
There's loads of them in here this weekend, I saw in the paddock.
Yeah, they almost have a monopoly now, don't they? As being the big team in the low-cost paddock with SRB having moved on. But look at this, it's going to be 3 wide here because you've got Gary Brandon involved there as well, I think, haven't you, as they head down the Bentley Straight. So it's Craig Land leading now, and it is in 2nd place Jeff Peak, 3rd is 43 David Mason, then Gary Brandon is up to 4th, level pegging 4th with Paul Clark. Paul Clark back through on the inside there at Nelson.
Yeah, Brandon was 7th across the line. Tom Gadd just going backwards, isn't he? He's not having a good run here after having pole position. Big dive up the inside, that's from that Simon Court car, and Murray Shepherd, another driver, struggling a bit here. He loses a position. He was 6th at the start of the lap. He's nowhere near that now. Meanwhile, at the end of lap 1, Simon Walker-Hansel passed almost half the grid up to 17th. So car number 4 will be one to watch to see how much further up the order he's got. Just looking through, there's Louis Wall trying to gain positions. Again, a driver who's won races before, struggling a bit in the early stages of this one. So it's now Craig Land with a nice lead at the end of lap 2. And some challenges going on behind him. Let's see into Ritchie's. There's Gary Brandon around the outside of Martin West. Then Tom Gadd and Paul Clark, who made such a good first lap, has sort of lost all those positions again.
Yeah, a bit strange really that one, isn't it? Anyway, there's Gary Brandon, so he's having a pretty good race. Martin West just behind him, having switched horses. He's there in the 94 car, just ahead then of Tom Gadd, number 12. 1300cc cross-flow engined 7-shaped cars. The genesis of this was Ron Champion's book, Pure Joy in Sports Car, for as little as £250. Off the road there was number 77, and that was Mark Rue. Look at this for the lead. It's looked like it was side by side. It wasn't in actual fact. It was just a perspective that was somewhat confusing. It's still Craig Land from Jeff Peak, but there's Gary Brandon and Tom Gadd. They are alongside. They're just behind Martin West as well. So this is 6th, 7th, 5th, 6th and 7th positions there. Carl Roysenar's number 84, black car with yellow roll cage. He was 8th at the beginning of the lap. That's behind Paul Clark now. So coming through to complete lap number 3. It's Craig Land that's leading, but it's actually Carl Roysenars that's got the fastest lap of the race.
He's back there in 8th position. The lead gap looks like it's come down this time. Jeff Peake is right there in the toe, in the slipstream. He pops out of the toe, and it's side by side as they cross the line. So Jeff Peake up on the inside line for Ritchie's and grabs the lead away then from Craig Land. So 2 drivers before the weekend. Don't think we'd suggest that they were would be doing this in, battling for the lead of the race, but they are. They've got a gap over the rest. Both looking for their first victory in the category. Don't think we've seen Craig Land on the podium before. And he's running there in 2nd place. He was leading, but he's dropped back behind Jeff Peake once more as they now run on this 4th lap of the race. And now it's Martin West who's got the fastest lap of the race. He's up into 4th position, so he's coming back through the order. We've got a battle for the lead. It's 2 wide, 2 across the circuit for the lead then. On the inside line is back to Craig Land. So Land led to begin the lap, then Peake took the lead. But now it's turned for Craig Land to head again as they go into Brundle. He's up on the inside line, he goes through. So if you're watching this on timing and scoring, you wouldn't see any difference, but we've seen 2 changes already in half a lap.
Yeah, and I sense that actually it's getting a bit closer, generally in the top 5 somehow than it was a lap ago. But Land and Peake now just slowed each other up a little bit there and starting to bring back into it. David Mason and Martin West and Tom down a little bit. We'll see about that as they come up to the line this time, but visually it looks like it's a bit closer. So it's Land leading from Peake in 2nd place, who started racing at Locost back in 2014, so he's been doing so for about 6 years now. And then he's got David Mason chasing after him.
I think Mason's fallen behind both West and Gerd,
right.
so the experienced driver is starting to move forward now, but a challenge again for the lead. So what's to be the 3rd lead change in a lap, and Randy outside, Jeff Peake grabs the lead, but Martin West has significantly reduced that gap, and David Mason's back ahead of Tom Gadd again, so change for 4th, and it's Paul Clark leading the rest a bit further back, but as you suggested, Ian, it's 5 now really at the front of the field with Jeff Peake. It is currently at the front, but Martin West in this new car chasing after them, going well in 3rd with the new fastest lap of the race at 1:31.8.
Okay, so we are watching an almost empty track. That's the 77 car going through, but then the leaders coming up behind. And what a sight this makes. You've got Peake on the left-hand side of the circuit. You've got Land on the right as we look at it. Land is, he's going to be in the lead, but look, it is now 3 cars for the lead, isn't it? And the 3rd of those cars is number 94, Martin West. So you said a moment ago he got the fastest lap. Is that still the case? Yes, it is, a 1:31.88. So he is in fine form. It's well outside the lap record, interestingly. A 1:30.72 for Matt Sherrington, who holds both of the 200 and 300 lap records for this next.
When did Sherrington set lap record?
Hang on. Now you're asking for a different piece of paper.
Apologies. Leaders are meant to talk about what's on the screen. It's Craig Land that leads the way, then out of Murray. That slower car pulls out of the way and lets them through fine.
I haven't answered the question, which is 2012.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Thinking if Locost still had the lights on the cars back then. But a big battle for the lead across the line. It's 3 across the circuit, I think, as initially Peake has it, but Martin West goes round the outside of both the 2 leaders, Peake and Land then, who were clearly just the 2 of them racing just 2 laps ago, but now it's Martin West that grabs the lead around the outside at Ritchie's. Wonder if that's experience now paying off for the former race winner. Yeah,
he's up from 9th on the grid to lead the race from Peake and from Land. So it'll be interesting to see, because he has won races before. It took him a long while to do so.
And it was here, wasn't it, a couple of years ago where he got that first win.
There's a problem there for number 18 as well. That's Aston Wigley from Stevenage. Some smoke or fluid or something emitting from his car. I think he's going to head to the pit. And pulling off there is number 21, Kev Straw, driver who sat out most of last season with recovering from some back surgery. So not as a happy way to end his first race of 2020.
So new leader is Craig Land again. Well, it got quite feisty down the straight, didn't it? There was lots of jinking about. They got away with it, with Craig Land back up front. Martin West 2nd, Jeff Peake 3rd, and Tom Gadd and David Mason have joined in again. So it's 5 for the lead once more. And they make their way through Coram down into Murray's. A good chance in this race we're going to have a race to the line, aren't we? So drivers have got to work out tactically where they want to be leading this race, which may not be in the lead coming out of Murray's. That's currently what Craig Land has got, but as they race up to the line side by side, and really there's nothing between them, but Martin West I think just nosing ahead, which will become very important in a few laps' time.
Yellow flags there for that 21 car at station, and it'll be through that zone and into the green flag zone at Ritchie's by now. 4 laps to go, I reckon, including the one that they are on. So West from land from Jeff Peak. I thought Simon Walker-Hansel might come into this a little bit more. He's still there in 11th place, but he made up half the places on the opening lap, didn't he? And he's only made up another 6 since then. He's about 3 seconds behind the car in front, which is 10th place Carl Royce now. So we'll see if Simon Walker-Hansel has any more power to add.
Change for a second there. Jeff Peak passes Craig Land now. Can he get to Martin West too, who moves to the left-hand side of the circuit to defend into Brundle, the left-hander. And Peak comes round the outside, but I don't think he's quite there. He's not, so West leads it still. It's David Mason out wide. Paul Clark trying to catch the lead in 5 now. So as they battle more and more cars, join in the leading group. Make their way up towards Coram. Look at the inside here. Big move from Craig Land into Coram, but decides against it. Not really a necessary place to pass when it's much easier to do so in a tow. And round they come. It's pretty much 6 now for the lead in.
So here's 3 laps to go. It's a jolly good race this for the opening round of the Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship for 2020. And out of the slipstream he goes, and it's absolutely level pegging over the line. What was it? Jeff Peak just ahead by 4/100ths from Martin West, but it's Craig Land actually that turns into Mitch's ahead. But yeah, you'd say any one of these 6 drivers now could win it. There's 6 of them, or 5 of them are separated by 0.8 of a second. Paul Clark another 0.8 behind. But certainly any one of 5. But actually Paul Clark's now with the group, isn't he? So any one of 6 really could still win this race with 2 and a bit laps to go.
Walker Hansel's gone 10th now, so I wonder if we've lost. Oh, Gary Brandon hasn't come through, so we've lost Gary Brandon on that most recent of laps. That promotes Andrew Tate to 7th, and Simon Court having a good debut in 8th. It's one long snake of Locost at the front of the field. And remarkably, Craig Land hasn't been passed by anybody. Now, it's just the tactical heart of the race coming in, where nobody wants to lead it. Coming up towards the final stages of it. A big spin down at Murray's for car number 66, which is driven by Paul Williamson.
Yeah, so he's had a moment back with this leading group. Sorry, we're not seeing too much of the other aspects of this race, but it's been such a good battle up front. And there it is, Craig Land ahead of Jeff Peak and Martin West for the moment. Then Gav, Mason and Clark. It's Andrew Tate in 7th, a bit on his own. Out of Murray as they come. So this time they will be starting the penultimate lap, I reckon. There's 6 cars covered by a 1.5 seconds basically this time around. Who's going to lead into Riches? Last lap it was Craig Land, and this lap it's Craig Land as well. But Martin West now up to 2nd ahead of Jeff Peak, Gad 4th, Mason 5th, Clark in 6th. But as you rightly say, Josh, it's all about who's going to be leading into the final few corners.
And Craig Land's led for a full lap now. Oh, big moment. And he spun. The leader spun going into the Wilson hairpins. Oh, and Martin West on the grass. So it's just to be saying he led a full lap. He's chucked it away at Wilson hairpins.
The first we knew of that was Jeff Peak trying to take evasive action, wasn't it? We saw him wrestling with the wheel, thinking, oh, which way do we go now? And then we saw that we had the spin for Craig Land.
Paul Clark passed them all in all of that to take the lead of the race.
I think he has, but he's got David Mason alongside him. So it's Paul Clark. He was 6th. Now he's jointly leading. He is leading, isn't he? So
he's lost it.
But he's lost it now. He spins. He's on the grass. So David Mason. So that's 2 leaders have spun in the space of 3 corners. And now it's David Mason leading. There's 4 left. Martin West 2nd, Jeff Peak 3rd, and Tom Gadd 4th. And those that haven't won before, like Craig Land and Paul Clark, have fallen by the wayside.
So we're left in that category, I think, with David Mason and with Jeff Peak, aren't we?
Yeah.
And it's Mason that leads. There's a car to lap up the inside. They go. Oh, big move from Tom Gadd up the inside of 2 cars. But that has allowed David Mason to get away with 1 lap to go. So it's going to be hard for the rest to catch. So Tom Gadd up over the curve, up the inside, I think, to go 2nd. But how much time has he lost to do that? The marshal's signalising 1 lap to go, so the drivers know this is the final lap. But this good gap for David Mason at the end of 9 laps is a full second. It'd be hard to catch that, I reckon.
It will. There's no traffic there. Might just be possible to work together to get him by the end of the Bentley Straight, though.
They're almost there.
They're not far off him by the time they get to Wilson, to be honest with you. So it's West from Peak from Gadd as they pursue David Mason, and what was looking like a useful advantage has pretty much disappeared now. Having said that, he's got a few car lengths, hasn't he? But now you've got Peak pulling alongside West.
So that shows you how effective the slipstream in these cars is. Over a second, and you can draw that in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 across the circuit now, and it's Jeff Peak. He takes the lead again. Do he drop to the back of the queue? There's slippery surface flag out down here with bits of car on the circuit, but Peak has got the lead. And in second it's West, in third it's Mason, and fourth it is Gadd. Murray's and Coram to go first. There's another spinner. There's a couple of cars off there, including the car on the grass of Jack Artist. But let's go back to these. A big dent in the back of that car. But Jeff Peak is leading. He's got a nice lead here in, but he's gone sideways, and that's going to lose him momentum to the line. Can Martin West get this?
I think Martin West might well be able to get this because he's right in the toe now as they come up to the line. And could that little mistake on the exit of Murray's cost him? They're going to be absolutely side by side across the line. And is that West or is that Mason that's got it? Let's have a look, see what it says on the screen. When the time comes up, it's Peak by 2/100ths of a second from Martin West, Tom Gadd third, and David Mason fourth. So he dropped back to fourth position in the end. Four of them covered by 9/10ths of a second. Fifth to number 42, Andrew Tate. Sixth was number 55, Simon Court. Seventh, number 87, Craig Land. 8th, number 82, Paul Clark. 9th was 84, Carl Royce-Niles. And 10th, number 2, Murray Shepherd. We didn't really mention that race, considering he was the runner-up in the championship last year. 11th, number 4, Simon Walker Hansel. 12th was 47, Tim Penstone-Smith, who made some forward progress during the course of that race. But what a race and what a finish.
We hyped it up, didn't we, a bit, but they delivered, so well done, Locost guys, and good racing at the front. Just small mistakes from Craig Land and Paul Clark eliminated them from the battle for the victory, and Jeff Peak just had enough momentum, didn't he, out of Murray's on that final lap to hold off Martin West. In some ways, the grid positions didn't really matter, did they, because Martin West started back there, 9th on the grid, but the first win for Jeff Peak. We did see him take one sole podium last season, but I think that's all he's got before. So really good drive there from Jeff Peak. I'm sure he'll be really pleased about that when he has a chat with Anthony in a few moments' time. But really good, Ian, to see lots of new names at the front of the field. Really only Martin West and Tom Gadd remaining there from last season. Yeah,
no, and it looks like it's going to be a wide open season, doesn't it, in the Demon Tweeks Yokohama Locost Championship. 2 more races for those tomorrow. Just to quickly say, while we're getting Jeff Peak back into pit lane, whether you're here at the circuit or watching at home on the live stream, if you want to have a look at the race programme, you can do. It's available as a digital download. So go to 750mc.co.uk, and on the banner there, you'll see that scroll through, and one of the options is to download the digital version of the race programme. So you can do that in lieu of the printed programmes that we don't actually have at the circuit at the moment for obvious reasons. You can also get full access to the live timing on there as well if you want to get that up on a second screen while you're watching the live stream on another one with all of the detailed data on lap times and so forth. So that's, again, on the banner on the 750 Motor Club website homepage, 750mc.co.uk, and see the live stream. If you're not already watching it, it's 750mc.co.uk/live, and you'll be able to see all of the action from here at Snetterton this weekend. We've got more events, all being well, during the course of the year that will also be live streaming. So it looks like we've got a bit of sweeping up to be done by the marshals. It looks like we've also got Jeff Peak down in the pit lane. So let's hand down to Anthony Jordan.
Oh, well, Jeff Peak, who's walking away, I can scarcely believe the end of that race.
I know.
Breathe.
I didn't see the last lap flag. So,
You didn't see it?
I didn't see the last lap flag, so I was actually very shocked to see the checkered flag. So, blimey, okay.
It was, well, from our point of view, 6 cars battling right to the end there.
Yeah.
From your perspective, it must have looked like carnage.
Yeah, it was actually. It was trying to keep ahead, and this is the first time I've been up the front end like this, so it's, racing with the big boys. It's been good fun. Craig and I were having a good battle right at the start, but unfortunately Craig lost it on the hairpin. But yeah, we had a good battle right through, really. So
Yeah,
really
we
chuffed.
did see the spin from Craig. Was it just a spin? Was there any contact from anyone?
No contact at all. It was just literally he overcooked it on the brakes and lost the back end, unfortunately for him. I got caught up in that, which allowed everybody else to catch up. But yeah, we had a good battle anyway.
A fantastic battle from our point of view. Talking to the start marshals here as well, they were glad they got the right car for checkered because they had no idea who it was going to be across the line.
Yeah, well, I must admit, I was quite shocked when I saw the checkered, and it was very close between me and Martin West. I think there's about half a car length in it, so yeah, really close.
I mean, yeah, from the previous lap, the final lap, it looked like it was Martin West had got it in the bag, but then out of nowhere, a fantastic move from yourself to clinch it.
Yeah, I was quite fortunate actually. I thought I was going to end up fourth, but I saw Clarkey lose it, which gave me it third, and then down the back straight I just got a good toe, and Bob's your uncle, away we go.
Excellent stuff. Now that definitely deserves a pat on the back on that one. I'm sure you're going to celebrate with the guys back. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think that definitely deserves a beer after that one.
Yeah, without a doubt. And to be honest with you, I couldn't have done this without the support of my team and the wife letting me go racing, and my mechanic Pete. He's been an absolute inspiration and got this car sorted for me. So, yeah, this is it for them.
Amazing stuff. Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
A win straight away for the 2020 season. Well done.
Yeah.
Well
Couldn't
done.
start any better, could it?
It couldn't. Well done.
Right, onwards and upwards. Thank you very much.
Cheers.